Hi, I'm the Scrub and you're here for one reason. This is the first optional Stormblood dungeon. It can be unlocked by talking with Kurenai in the Ruby Sea. Well, this dungeon has the dubious honour of being the most worn piece of glamour for pretty much the entirety of Stormblood. Especially if you were a female Makote or a female Aura and above level 63, there was no exception. This was your glam. Time to learn about Shisui of the Violet Tides. Simplified. Along the opening route, you'll see these antennae poking out of the sand. If any player goes near these, the fish will splash out of the sand in a small AoE. Pull the opening 3 mobs and move into the open area, picking up the next 3 mobs in the process. The Hikigiri will cast a large AoE either called Electrogenesis or Defibrillate. It is a pretty hard hit if you get hit by it, so make sure you stun the cast or get out of it to avoid it. When everything is being defeated, the geyser will start to splash. Walk over the geyser, which will blast you up to the next section. Pull the 2 fish and a 3rd fish will burst out and aggro you. Pull these 3 up to the next open area. The larger Ango fish will cast a narrow AoE called Flounder. This is a knockback if you get hit by it. As you begin killing the mobs, 3 more mobs will come out and attack you. They will give whoever they are targeting an discernible physical vulner. Again, when everything is being defeated, walk over the geyser to send you up to the first boss. Sharp Strike is an untelegraphed tank buster. One person in the group will be targeted with these crosshairs. Regardless of where they move, they will be hit with a small AoE at their feet. This lingering AoE will give the debuff Fetters, which will render them unable to move, but they will still be able to perform actions. If any other player steps into this AoE, they will also get the Fetters debuff. The boss will raise up onto its hind legs. The legs will become targetable and Amakiri will start casting Shuck. If you don't defeat the leg by the time the cast finishes, the person who is stuck will be knocked back considerably and given an discernible concussion debuff. But the leg doesn't have much health and can be destroyed easily. When the leg is defeated, Amakiri will become prone and get a vulnerability up for a few seconds. This is where you'll get the chance to beat down the boss without any other attacks going out. And add Kimakiri will spawn in. A few party members will be targeted with this blue sun-like icon above their heads. After a few seconds, a lingering water puddle will be created at these players' feet. This will give you the Dropsy dot tick if you're standing in it. However, you can burst down the ad to stop the AoEs from being created. The boss will repeat these mechanics until it has been defeated. For this next section, I would recommend double pulling the next couple of pulls. However, if you're feeling adventurous and have a competent party, you can pull all the way to the wall and nuke it all down. Head up the stairs where the doors will automatically open and you'll pull 3 guards. You can continue through the next set of doors where there'll be another 3 guards. Stop here and kill everything. Then head out through the next set of doors where 3 more guards will aggro you from across the way. Turn right and dodge the AoEs while following the path around to the next 3 guards. Kill everything while looking out for the small straight line AoEs from the mobs and the medium-sized conal AoE of the captain. Second boss time. As you enter the arena, you'll see 4 sparkling chests. When you walk through or even get quite close to one of these chests, you'll temporarily age considerably and suffer the debuff of Old. This will also cause you to move very slowly. The lid will remain open for a few seconds and will eventually close itself. The chests will always work as long as the lid is closed. Keep this in mind for later. Tornado Genesis is a cleaving tank buster, so don't stand with a tank. When you get the Ruby Princess below 90% health, she will periodically move to the middle of the room and start casting Seduce. This is where you will need to run through a box and become old before the cast finishes. If you fail to do this, you will simply be seduced. This is where you will lose control of your character, and you will begin to walk slowly towards the Ruby Princess. You can also be seduced and then be forced to walk into a box, which will dispel the seduce. If 2 people walk into a box at the same time, you can both become old. After this cast finishes, she will cast a large AoE around her called Coriolis Kick, which will damage you and give you a knockback. If you are seduced, there is no way to avoid this. When you get her down below 75%, she will start targeting the DPS with these crosshairs. She will then cast Abyssal Volcano. This will not only create a medium-sized AoE around herself, but also create a tracking AoE that will follow the DPS around. The DPS will need to run around the outside of the arena and not run through the middle of the arena, as this is where the healer and tank will be to avoid those tracking AoEs. If you stop, the continuous hits can be enough to kill you. If you start from one box, you'll move about halfway around the arena before the tracking AoE hits will stop. You'll end up behind the other box directly across from you. This is good because she will more than likely be casting another Seduce. Only these mechanics will repeat until she has been defeated. Exit out of the arena, jump into the water, and head up the stairs on the other side. The pufferfish that will roam the area here will not be able to be targeted. Instead, if you get too close to them, they will explode in a medium-sized AoE. Pull the blue crab. Tanks watch out for its triple hit tank buster called Scissor Run. It also has a pretty hard hitting point blank AoE around itself called Flush. This cast is interruptible though. To avoid the pufferfish, you can pull the crab back towards the water where you just came from, or as Duty Finder would normally do, you can pull the crab up the stairs to the next section where there are 3 more enemies. Kill everything while avoiding the pufferfish AoEs as best you can. After the doors open up, head up the stairs. Pull everything into the small treasure room to the left. The pufferfish will not bother you here. Kill everything, the gate will open, and it's final boss time. Foul Nail is a double hit tank buster. When you get the boss below 90% health, she will cast Thick Fog. The arena will become cloudy, the floor will turn to water, and all players will receive 3 stacks of the debuff Dropsy. 3 water orbs called Churn will spawn in. These don't have a lot of health, and when they are defeated, they will dispel 1 stack of Dropsy. The boss will be indicated by these ripples that appear on the water's surface. You will need to move away from these ripples as eventually the boss will burst out from the water in a large AoE and give everyone hit by the AoE a Vuln stack. If there are any churns remaining when she bursts out from the water, they will explode and give everyone a stack of damage down for every churn that was still in the arena. Hyuna. She will get a massive red eye on her and cast Mad Stare. She wants a staring contest. If you don't turn your character away when the cast finishes, you will be hit with Hysteria and lose control of your character for several seconds. 3 sharks will spawn in and tether to the DPS and healer with these straight line AoEs. They will start casting Bite and Run. If this cast finishes, it is a very hard hit, and the DPS sharks will also give out a stack of damage down. The DPS sharks will be smaller and their cast bar will be faster. Kill the DPS sharks first before focusing the healer shark. They don't have a lot of health and can be defeated easily. Shisui Yohi will repeat these mechanics until it has been defeated. Congratulations, you have beaten Shisui. My name is The Scrub. Thank you for watching.